Listen, that sound you hear when you wake up, that alarm, that's not a call to a new day. For most, it's a trap door. It drops you right back into yesterday's chaos. Rushing, reacting, a ghost drifting through a life you didn't consciously build. But what if I told you the entire war for your future is won or lost in the first 10 minutes you're awake? Just one decision, made in that sacred silence before the world starts screaming, holds the power to detonate your old mindset, to forge a new identity, and to write a destiny of success. Why? Because how you begin is who you become. And I'm going to show you how a simple intentional ritual prepares your mind to lead, not to be led. Your future doesn't start tomorrow. It starts the moment you open your eyes. Your morning is a prophecy. If I could watch you for just one morning, I could tell you the story of the rest of your life. Not because I have some special gift, but because your morning is a mirror. It shows me your discipline, or your lack of it. It shows me your direction, or your drift. It reflects the fire of your desires, or the ashes of your excuses. Most people wake up in surrender. They rise in reaction to an alarm, to an email, to the world's demands pounding on their door. They let everyone else's emergencies become their priorities. But the victors, they rise with intention. Every great building that has ever pierced the sky stands on a foundation laid in the dark, before the crowds arrived. Your foundation is your morning. What you do before the world lays its eyes on you determines how the world will look at you for the rest of the day. That first hour isn't just a block of time. It is a declaration. It screams to the universe, I am in command. Or it whispers, I am commanded. So when your feet hit the floor, they must land in purpose. You must build a wall against the noise. No news, no social media, no gossip, only clarity, only focus, only that quiet, powerful voice deep inside you that says, we are not here to merely survive. We are here to conquer. Do not drift. Do not hit snooze. The second you hesitate, you are handing the keys to your day over to fear. You are telling the world that it owns you. But when you rise with fire, when you speak your goals as if they are already fact, when you write them down and anchor them in reality, when you take just one small defiant step forward, you seize command, and that command becomes the compass for your soul. The morning does not give you power. It reveals the power that was in you all along. And when you use it right, it multiplies it until you become unshakable. Not by what you do once in a while, but by what you do asterisk first. Asterisk. Your mind is fertile ground, your focus is the water, your action is the sunlight. If you feed your mind these three things every single morning, your life will produce a harvest so abundant it will stagger you. So you have to ask yourself right now, who do I intend to become? Because you must start becoming that person before you've even had your first cup of coffee. There is a covenant you make with yourself when you do one hard thing first. Something your weak self screams at you not to do. Something that makes your mind recoil in search of comfort. But the moment it's done, that resistance shatters. Its grip on you is broken for the rest of the day. This is the secret weapon of every high achiever I've ever known. They don't wait around for motivation to show up, they create it. And they create it by taking action asterisk before asterisk they feel ready. The mind is a muscle. If you train it to surrender to the warmth of the blankets, it will abandon you when the fire of crisis comes. But if you train it every single morning to obey your command for strength, it will become your most powerful and loyal soldier. So what is your one hard thing? Is it the shock of cold water? Is it the deafening discipline of silence? Is it pushing your body until it sweats? Is it staring at that intimidating blank page and writing one true sentence? Choose it. Vow to conquer it, and then attack it with everything you've got. Because it was never about the task itself, it's about the identity that task forges within you. When you do something hard first, you are reminding your soul who is in charge. You are a person who doesn't run from the pressure, but rises to meet it. Most people hit snooze and their spirit shrinks. You will rise and your spirit will sharpen. Most people wait for permission. You will initiate. That's the edge. That's the raw energy that separates a life of power from a life of passivity. When the very first decision of your day is a victory against weakness, the rest of the day has no choice but to fall in line. So find your hard thing, face it down, finish it, and then watch as the world around you begins to bow to the authority of your courage. Words build worlds. And the first words that leave your lips each morning are not just sounds, they are seeds. They will grow into the shape of your day, your story, your destiny. Most people wake up and immediately speak defeat over themselves. Ooh, I'm so tired. I'm so stressed. It's going to be another long day. And what does life give them? A reality that perfectly matches their language. But you are different. You will wake up and declare your strength. You will say, I was built for this day. Today, I am a force of momentum. I bring peace and power into every room I enter. This isn't about pretending. This is about programming. Your subconscious mind doesn't debate whether something is true or not. It simply accepts what you repeat with conviction. And when you repeatedly speak life, your body has to listen. Your habits have to listen. Your future has to listen. Start every morning with declarations of power. Say who you are. Say who you are becoming. Not with a whisper of doubt, but with the thunder of faith. Not with the shadow of fear, but with the fire of conviction. Look yourself in the eye in that mirror and speak to yourself like a general addressing his army. Speak like someone who is already victorious. Speak like someone who refuses to allow their past to write the script for their future. This is not arrogance. This is agreement. It is an agreement with your vision, with your values, and with your inevitable victory. So before the world has a chance to speak fear into your heart, you must be the one to speak purpose into the world. The first voice your soul hears each day is your own. Make it a voice worth following. Your body is not just a vessel, it is a trigger. The moment you move your body with purpose, you shift your state of mind. You awaken the warrior within. Have you ever noticed how slumped shoulders and a defeated mind are inseparable? How shallow, timid breaths always lead to anxious, scattered thoughts? Your physiology dictates your psychology. That is why every single morning must include movement. I'm not just talking about exercise. I'm talking about engagement. Stand tall. Breathe from your diaphragm. Walk with intention. Train, stretch, sweat. Because when the body moves with authority, the brain aligns with that authority. Energy begins to flow where it was once stagnant. Clarity cuts through the fog, and your confidence it ignites. Don't wait for the perfect workout or the perfect time. Just start with what you have. A 10-minute walk outside, 20 minutes of stretching, just enough to shift your state from passive to powerful. Winners are in motion. They don't sit around hesitating. They don't lounge around in their limitations. They rise, they move, and they set a tone of strength so powerful that weakness is no longer welcome. Remember this: motion creates emotion. If you want to feel different, you have to move different. Make your morning a sacred time by making your body an active participant in your rise. Your future self is begging you for the momentum that you can create today. Your morning movement isn't about getting fit, it's about reclaiming your freedom. So rise, move, and take back control. There is a moment. It's quiet, it's fleeting, and it's the most powerful moment of your entire day. It arrives in that sacred breath just after you open your eyes. In that instant, your mind is a blank slate, vulnerable, open, deeply impressionable. You have not yet been contaminated by the chaos of the world. You have not yet been pulled into the vortex of demands and distractions. And it is in this sliver of sacred time that a choice must be made. Will you command your mind, or will the world command it for you? Most people don't even see this battlefield. They wake up and instinctively reach for their phone, for the television remote, for something asterisk outside asterisk of themselves to tell them who they are and what to care about. They flood their minds with the world's crises, with politics, with gossip, with the curated lives of strangers. The mind, still soft and unguarded from sleep, is immediately overrun by other people's burdens. Worry takes root. Comparison begins its toxic work. The urgency of others strangles the quiet purpose of their own soul. And before the sun has even crested the horizon, they have already lost the war for their own day. Their thoughts are no longer their own. They have been conscripted into someone else's army. But there are others, the rare few, the intentional ones who treat that first moment of consciousness like the launch pad for their destiny. They understand that true leadership, the kind that shapes families, builds empires, and creates legacies, doesn't begin in the boardroom. It begins in the bedroom. It begins in the silence before a single other person is watching. It begins with thought, not with noise. These individuals command their minds. They rise with intention, not by accident. Instead of reaching out to the world, they reach inward. They speak affirmations that anchor their soul. They visualize the person they are committed to becoming. Not one day, but asterisk today, asterisk. They breathe with purpose. They sit in stillness. They move their bodies to call forth their inner strength. They choose clarity over confusion and purpose over passivity. Those first 10 minutes are not a small part of your day. They are everything. They set the psychological rhythm for every hour that follows. If those minutes are filled with power, direction, and a clear vision, the rest of the day will align itself with that purpose. But if they are filled with distraction, doubt, and the emotional noise of the world, then your day will be nothing more than a series of reactions to other people's agendas. And that is no way to live. You do not have the luxury of waking up weak. Not in a world this loud. Not in a world moving this fast. You must seize that first moment before the world does. You must decide what truly matters. Not what's trending, not what others demand, but what your spirit knows to be your mission. And you must do this every single day. Because repetition carves character. Discipline builds belief. So write down your thoughts, even if they feel scattered. Speak your vision, even if your voice shakes. Move your body, even if it aches with resistance. These are the declarations of a leader. These are the private acts of someone who is becoming. You don't wait for the world's applause to validate your path. You walk the path because you have validated yourself. And if you don't believe in your own destiny, why in God's name would anyone else? If you don't stand guard over that precious moment of mental awakening, the world will storm the gates. The world will rush in to tell you who you are, what to fear, and how you should feel. But you were not built to be a slave to the whims of the world. You were built to lead, and all leadership begins with self-leadership. Command your thoughts, because every thought you water becomes a belief. Beliefs shape your behavior, and your behavior builds your destiny. This isn't about self-help tricks or fleeting positive thinking. This is about self-leadership, and self-leadership is the only door to true freedom. No one can open it for you. You must seize it. Each morning is a private meeting between you and your potential. Don't be late. Don't let anyone else speak for you. Show up. Speak with clarity, and remind yourself who you are and why you are here. The headlines can wait. The emails can wait. Your purpose cannot. This is your mind. This is your mission. Take the lead. The moment you wake up, your mind is an untamed river. A flood of thoughts rushes in before you're even fully conscious. Ideas, worries, memories, anxieties, and brilliant sparks of inspiration, all racing through your awareness. And if you don't build a dam, if you don't capture them, they are gone forever. They vanish like mist in the morning sun. Ideas that aren't written down become ghosts that haunt you with regret. Goals that aren't written down become daydreams. Desires that aren't clarified just become distractions. But herein lies the secret practiced by every man and woman of consequence. They write it down. Not later in the day after the world has already left its muddy footprints all over their mind, but first, early, before the day can impose its will on them. They write, not because it's a pleasant hobby, but because it is a vital act of command. They write, not to be poets, but to be precise, to give form to the formless, and to command the chaos of the mind before it commands them. Writing in the morning is not about being a writer, it's about being the leader of your own life. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that is all it takes to alter the entire trajectory of your day. Start by writing what is already churning inside of you. What you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you want, what you fear, and what you know. Deep down, you must do today. Clarity is born on the page. The physical act of writing is a mirror for your soul. It turns the fog of your mind into concrete words. It slows down the frantic race of thoughts and allows you to hear your own wisdom. Writing takes what is invisible and makes it real. It is not just reflection, it is refinement, it is focus. It is direction made tangible. Every page you fill is a commitment. Every word you choose is a declaration. When you put that pen to that paper, you send an undeniable signal to your subconscious mind. This matters. You are giving structure to your spirit. You are saying to yourself, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is the empire I am building. Your mind is a garden, and the act of writing is how you tend to it. It is how you pull the weeds of doubt and fear. It is how you water the seeds of your vision. It is how you turn a tangled mess of emotion into an organized strategy for victory. When you write, you take back control. You stop being a reactor, and you become a creator. You stop wandering aimlessly, and you start walking with purpose. Think of the giants before you. Lincoln, scribbling speeches on scraps of paper. Edison, filling notebook after notebook with his visions. Marcus Aurelius, writing meditations not for an audience but for himself, to fortify his own soul. They understood a truth that modern man has forgotten. The mind cannot be trusted to remember what the hand refuses to record. Do not trust your memory with your destiny. Write it down, make it real, make it visible. Then stand back and watch how your life begins to reorganize itself around the clarity you put on that page. The goals you list become the actions you take. The gratitude you express becomes the peace you inhabit. The problems you define become the solutions you engineer. What you do not write, you forget. What you do not remember, you cannot act on. And what you do not act upon, you will never become. A life is shaped not by the fleeting thoughts one has, but by the powerful thoughts one anchors. And writing is the anchor. So start small, start messy. But for God's sake, start. Pick up a pen, open a notebook, sit in the silence, write one true sentence, then another. And as you write, you will feel the shift. You are no longer drifting. You are directing. You are no longer reacting. You are creating. This is how greatness begins. Not with a standing ovation, not with a perfect plan, but with a quiet moment, a steady hand, and a few honest words written on a page. Write your way into clarity. Write your way into purpose. Write your way into power. If you want to multiply your momentum, you must begin not with what you are chasing, but with what you already hold. Gratitude is not a soft sentiment for the weak. It is a strategic weapon for the strong. It centers you. It grounds you. It reminds you that you are not starting from zero. You are starting from a place of abundance. And when you begin your day feeling full, the world loses its power to make you feel empty. Gratitude fundamentally changes the climate of your mind. It rewires your brain to see opportunity where others see obstacles. It shifts you from a mindset of scarcity to one of sufficiency, from the lie of I don't have enough to the power of I have more than enough to begin. Without it, your thoughts will spiral into complaint and comparison. With it, your energy is focused on creation and contribution. And here is a truth you can build a life on. You cannot construct greatness from a foundation of grievance. You must build on the bedrock of strength. And gratitude is the purest form of strength. In the quiet of the morning, before the world starts talking, take 1 minute, just one. Name 3 things you are truly grateful for. Don't just think them. Speak them out loud. Write them down. Feel them as if they are priceless treasures you are holding in your hands. They can be simple: the air in your lungs, the strength in your body, a roof over your head, the love in your family, the simple fact that you have been given another chance today. Do not underestimate the power of this simple act. It is not just a routine. It is spiritual realignment. When you start your day from a place of genuine appreciation, you tap into a power source deeper and more potent than raw ambition. You activate joy. You generate mental wealth. You remind yourself that you already possess immense value. And from that position of inner wealth, you can pursue your outer goals with confidence, not with desperation. Those who radiate a quiet contentment become magnets for opportunity. People are drawn to those who do not complain, who do not grasp, who do not beg the world for validation. They are drawn to those who validate themselves. And gratitude is the sound of that self-validation. It is not the end of your hunger. It is the strength that fuels it. It does not kill your ambition. It purifies it. Because now you are not chasing success to fill an empty hole inside of you. You are chasing it out of fullness, out of a desire to contribute, not to complete yourself. You are already whole. The chase is no longer about proving your worth. It's about expressing it. Most people leap from their bed straight into their burdens, from waking into worrying, but not you. You will pause, you will reflect, and you will rise with perspective. That is your edge. That is your discipline. That is your daily return to power. Do not wait for a dramatic event to feel grateful. Gratitude is not reactive, it is proactive. It is not a response to good fortune, it is the creator of it. You must cultivate it like a farmer tends his field daily, deliberately. It is not a mood you wait for, it is a mindset you build. It is a spiritual muscle that grows stronger with every repetition. Gratitude is how you hold your blessings in your hands, instead of letting them slip through your fingers unnoticed. It is your shield when the storms of life come. It is how you remind yourself again and again that you have already won so many battles. You are not empty, you are equipped. So start each morning with this practice. 3 things, 3 truths, 3 blessings. Make this your unbreakable ritual. Gratitude is not the finish line, it's the launch pad. It doesn't stop you from climbing. It gives you the strength for the ascent. When you live from gratitude, you are no longer a seeker. You are a steward of abundance. And from that place, anything is possible. Most people wake up and drown. They are immediately pulled under by a tidal wave of tasks, emails, and obligations. They glance at an endless to-do list, try to do everything at once, and collapse at the end of the day, exhausted but not accomplished. Here's the tragedy. They were busy, but they made no progress. Movement without direction is just chaos, and chaos is the assassin of greatness. Real power doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters most. It comes from precision. And every single powerful day begins with one question. What is the one thing that, if I do it today, will move my mission forward? Your energy is finite. Your attention is a treasure. These are not resources to be scattered like dust in the wind. If you scatter them, they are useless. But if you focus them, they become a laser beam that can cut through steel. You must train yourself to stop waking up into the noise and to start waking up into a state of focus. Each morning, identify one clear target. Not 10, not 5, 1. Write it down, say it out loud, see it in your mind's eye as already done. This is your primary objective. This is your point of attack. Everything else is secondary until this one thing is achieved. When you rise with this kind of clarity, the world can no longer pull you in 1,000 different directions. You don't spend your day reacting. You spend it directing. Your decisions become simpler. Your standards become higher. Distractions lose their seductive power because you, my friend, are on a mission. A man with a mission cannot be easily swayed. He is not tempted by every shiny object, because he knows which prize is worth the fight. The most successful people are not those who do the most things. They are the ones who do the most important things, and they do them first. Before the chaos of the day begins, before the world can interrupt, before the urgent can overpower the important, they strike. They strike early, and they strike with ruthless intention. Set your target, see it clearly, break it down into the first actionable step, then begin. You don't have to conquer the entire mountain in one day. You just have to take the next powerful step up, one victory. That's all it takes to ignite momentum, and momentum changes everything. One win builds belief. Belief fuels action. Action creates results, and results compound into a legacy. This is the engine of all achievement, not frantic hustle, but focused, disciplined effort, day after day. So each morning, in the quiet sanctuary before the world demands your attention, ask yourself, what is my win for today? Not a list of chores, not a dozen distractions, just one powerful, purposeful step forward. What will bring you closer to your vision? What single accomplishment will make today a victory? Do not confuse being busy with being effective. Busyness is a trap that flatters your ego but betrays your destiny. Your goal is not to fill your hours, it is to fulfill your purpose. And that begins by choosing your win. When you identify that one target and pursue it with all the intensity you can muster, you begin to own your time, you command your hours, instead of being commanded by them. You shape your life instead of just drifting through it. You become a builder, not just an occupant of your days. This single practice repeated daily will transform you. You'll stop waking up in a fog of confusion and start waking up with the sharp clarity of confidence. The overwhelming noise of options will fade, and you will become obsessed with outcomes. When you win the morning, you set the terms for the day. Not because the day will be easy, but because you chose your fight. You declared your objective, and then with discipline and fire, you move towards it. Start tomorrow with this question on your lips, and this resolve in your heart. What is my win today? Then, act on it, and as the days turn into weeks, and the weeks into years, you will look back and see a life built not by chance, but by choice. One target, one strike, one victory, every single day. That is how a legacy is built. Before the chaos, before the noise, before the meetings and the demands and the distractions, there is one sacred territory you must claim for yourself: stillness. 10 minutes, that's all it takes. 10 minutes of absolute silence. 10 minutes of conscious breath. 10 minutes of connecting to something deeper, something higher, something within you that is unshakable. This time is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is not for the idle, it is for the intentional. Stillness is not weakness, it is the highest form of strength. It is the practice of mastering yourself before you attempt to master your day. Each morning, before you open your door to the world, you must first open the door to your own soul. Before you check your phone for messages, you must check in with your spirit. Sit in silence. Breathe slowly, deeply. Listen to the quiet wisdom your heart is trying to give you. Pray, if that is your path. Meditate, if that is your method. Reflect, journal. Do whatever it takes to center yourself in a state of peace, because peace is not something you find out in the world, it is something you forge within yourself. Most people leap from their beds and run straight onto the battlefield of life, unarmed and unprepared. They meet the chaos of the world with the chaos in their own minds. But you must be different. You must be deliberate. Stillness is your armor. It protects you from the noise, from the frantic urgency of others, from the lies that tell you your worth is measured by your speed. In a world that is addicted to rushing, choosing stillness is an act of rebellion. It is your declaration that your inner state will not be dictated by your outer circumstances. Your peace is not for sale. Vision is not born in the noise. It is born in the quiet. Wisdom does not scream. It is whispered in the silent moments that few people dare to enter. Stillness is where you meet your intuition. It's where your conscience speaks the loudest. It's where the fog of confusion clears and the next right move becomes obvious. It's where strategy is born and panic goes to die. 10 minutes can change the entire trajectory of your day. 10 minutes of deep, intentional breathing can regulate your nervous system, sharpen your focus, and calm your spirit. 10 minutes of connecting to your purpose can override 10 hours of external pressure. It's not about how much time you spend. It's about how deep you go. Give yourself this gift. Guard it like a fortress. Let no notification interrupt it. Let no obligation steal it. This is your sacred meeting with your mission. Before the world tries to talk over you, you must hear your own truth. Before others place their demands upon you, you must place your direction within yourself. The calmest minds make the sharpest decisions. The quietest mornings build the loudest victories. This is not a philosophy. This is a high-performance strategy. The greatest champions in every field have a routine of solitude. Their power comes not from the noise around them, but from the discipline within them. Do not rush into your day, rise into it. Do not react to it, respond from a place of centered strength. Do not spin in circles, stand still and let clarity find you. From this place of inner peace, you will walk differently. You will speak with a different weight. You will act with a different intention. People will feel it, not because you are louder, but because you are grounded. Stillness is not the absence of action. It is the presence of power, a quiet, commanding power that doesn't need to announce itself. It just is. So each morning, step into that sacred space. Let it hold you. Let it shape you. Let it whisper the truths that the world is trying to make you forget. You are not behind. You are not in a rush. You are not defined by what you do, but by who you are becoming. And that person is forged most profoundly in the quiet fire of stillness. Protect it. Practice it. And from that place, rise. Before the day has a chance to tell you who to be, you must decide. The world will try to label you. It will try to shape you. It will try to squeeze you into a mold that serves its own agenda. But you are not a product of circumstance. You are a force of choice. And every single morning, before your feet even touch the floor, you hold the divine power to define your direction, your energy, and your identity for that day. You must ask yourself, with piercing clarity and courage, who do I need to be asterisk today? Asterisk to move one step closer to the person I am destined to become. This is not a trivial question. It is the cornerstone of a life lived on purpose. It is the identity decision that will echo through every action you take, every word you speak, and every challenge you face. Will you be a person of courage or a person of caution? A person of presence or a person of distraction? A servant leader or a self-centered spectator? You are standing at this crossroad every single morning, and the choice you make doesn't just shape your day, it carves your destiny. Too many people let their feelings dictate their identity. If they feel tired, they act weak. If they feel fear, they act small. But the greatest souls to ever walk this earth understood a profound truth. Feelings are not leaders. They are followers. They follow your vision. They follow your discipline. They follow the identity that you consciously choose, not the one that is handed to you by your circumstances. Your vision for your highest self must be your only compass. That vision should dictate your thoughts, your tone of voice, your posture, your very presence. This is not about being fake. This is about being a creator. You are preparing your mind, your body, and your spirit to align with the frequency of the life you desire and deserve. So stand in front of that mirror and speak it into existence. Speak the name of the person you are becoming. Speak the virtues you will embody today. Patience, resilience, boldness, grace. Speak the energy you will carry into every room you enter. Not because it's magic, but because it is an act of command. Words create focus. Focus shapes behavior. Behavior hardens into identity. And identity determines your legacy. This one decision, made in the quiet sanctuary of your morning, fundamentally changes how the world responds to you. When you walk with a chosen intention, you speak with a different authority. When you act from a chosen identity, people feel it. They might not know why, but they sense it. You are not being tossed about by the winds of the day. You are the storm. You become your choices. And the most important choice you will ever make is who you choose to be, not what you will do, not what you will achieve, but who you will be in the process. Because all external success is born from internal victory. So speak it, stand in it, walk in it. Let every action you take be a confirmation of your decision. Let every choice you make be a reinforcement of your highest self. And when doubt and fear come knocking, and believe me, they will, you return to this decision. You anchor yourself back into it. You say it again. You choose it again. This is the difference between wandering through life and walking in purpose. Greatness is not something you trip over by accident. It is something you consciously step into again and again with choice and with conviction. It is not inherited. It is forged in the fire of these daily identity decisions. So before you do anything else, before you answer a single call or reply to a single email, you must first decide who you are. Choose to be someone your future self will stand up and applaud. Choose to be someone worth following. Let the world adjust to you, not the other way around. Because when you lead yourself with this kind of intention, the rest of the world has no choice but to follow.